I don't know if Etsapeka is the most amazing disc golf commentator ever, or if it's just his accent and the way that he says things
His
and gets
energy.
excited.
Yeah.
He did not do that, Brian Earhart. I just love it, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into the players meeting. My name's Lucas Deal, and oh my goodness, we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk all about the European Open. We're even going to talk about some of the President's Cup and a lot of the storylines that happened both with the President's Cup and the European Open. We're going to make picks. It's going to be an awesome episode. Before I get too excited, though, let me bring in the Wind Dummies. As you all know, the one-time world champ, it's Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. What up, dude?
Hey, man. How's it going?
It's going great. It's going great. Tonight, I'm not going to get to introduce the Step Putt Master, Mr. Ronnie Unruh, because he had some prior obligations and couldn't be here with us. But he did get all of his picks in, and we're going to be doing this thing without him this week. But hopefully we see him next week.
The good news is he won't be able to yell at me when I tell him what he got and picks.
Oh, great. This sounds like I might. It's going to be a tough week for me. I was watching a lot of the scores, and we're going to get into it. But I'm not very excited about how I did. If you all watching haven't, please subscribe to the YouTube. That would be super dope. Really helps us out. If you like the video, if you comment on it, have a conversation with us. I will say that Smitty and I do an awesome job of getting in there and replying to the comments. So leave us a comment. We'll shout you back out. Also, find us on wherever you get your podcasts. It can be Apple Podcasts. It can be Google Podcasts. It can be Spotify, iHeartRadio. It doesn't matter where you get it. All you got to do is search the words Wind Dummies, and you can find us and all of the different episodes. As I mentioned, this is episode number 20. So we've got a plethora on there, quite the catalog for you to watch. A lot of them are a lot of fun. So, as always, let us start where we always start. What's poppin'? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? And there was a lot popping this week, Smitty.
Yeah, man. The PGA was split among two continents. They had half of their crew here in North America in Tulsa for the Junior Worlds. I think they had just under 500 competitors there, which is a pretty big undertaking. And then the big show was over there in Finland, and woohoo, baby, that was a show, week-long deal. And yeah, man, it was great. Should we talk Junior Worlds?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Right,
me and you both got to go up on Saturday to watch one of the youngsters play. We got to watch Hudson Casper. He made the cut. We're going to share with you a little bit about how everyone finished. That was a Kansas kid. You and Ronnie got to do an awesome midweek presser, little podcast with a lot of these kids. And that may have been my favorite episode. I didn't get to be here live for it, but I was in the chat. And gosh, dude, that was one of the coolest things I think we've done.
Oh, it was sweet, man. And just talking to those kids live on the show. And I've gotten so many messages back and forth, exchanged with some of the parents and some of the kids. Mm-hmm. I saw pictures of watch parties with kids and parents, and just what a cool thing to do. And, and Pori is hosting the Junior Worlds next year. Maybe the Wind Dummies will be on site. We can bring them in actually to us into a studio. I have a few connections in Emporia. I could probably get us a corner somewhere. So yeah, it was great. Let's look and see how some of these kids did. So you can see, man, we had quite a few kids there. I'm just going to start down there at the lowest division at MJ8. Daniel Beatrice, who many of us know because he was on the show acting like his dad. We put him up to that skit. He came on. He played a great tournament. Ended up 7th place in his first World Championships. So pretty cool. And then in the MJ10, we had Seven O'Brien out of Manhattan, Kansas, who did come down to Wichita and play the team championships with us with a bunch of adults. So that was fun. And then we've got your guy there, Hudson Casper.
Yep.
So 7 finished 14th. Huddy was tied for 13th going into his semifinal rounds. And man, he started off looking like he was going to shred that sucker. It was so much fun to watch. And then kind of ran into some troubles late. And once he got in the woods and was just a little bit off, it just kept snowballing on him. And man, it was fun. Not that he was struggling, that sucked, but watching how he reacted to that situation and seeing the true emotion in that little dude's body coming out, and he was torn up, and then watching him and his dad try to work through the problem, and him and his mom work through the problem, and I didn't know if he was going to finish the last 2 or 3 holes. He was torn up so bad, but 4 minutes after he was done,
he just wanted to play more disc golf.
He was over wanting to throw more frisbees. So
it was really cool to be there. And as you mentioned, he didn't play the best that he's played, but he really persevered. He pushed through, and it just showed how passionate that kid is, and what a great family the Caspers are, because that really was kind of a family affair. They made a whole week out of it. Even his little brother was there walking the course. Sawyer was picking up bugs and grasshoppers and all the things. So it was a really good experience. And then truly just watching all of those kids play, man, they're 10, but they are so good, Smitty.
Incredible. Incredible. And then in the MJ12 division, we know how good these guys are. We've seen them play and played with them. We had a Gid who didn't play anywhere near where he wanted to play the entire week. And when we had him on the pod, he was still having fun meeting his new friends and hanging out with his family. We had Jackson, who was unable to be on the show, who's a local guy here, little kid here in Wichita, flicks everything, even putts. And we felt like one of these two was going to make it into the final 9. We knew they had an outside chance. We were really hoping one of them would get there so we could finish up at Mohawk Park and head over to Post Oak to see the finals, but they came up a little bit short. And what I learned today is that one of my longtime friends from years ago, Eric Blatnick, he was there. He moved away, lives in South Carolina now, I think. He was there with his son at his first World, and that dude finished on the podium.
Oh, wow.
So I wish we would have ran over to Post Oak so I could have bumped into Eric and talked to him. That would have been fun. So MJ15, we had these guys were fun on the pod. Yeah. We had Milo, who we know pretty well because he's pretty active in even the Wichita scene out of Emporia. And then we had Chase and Braxton. Chase was, it was actually Chase and Bennett that got in the arm wrestling match, but Chase was a blast to have on the pod. Braxton, we're going to have him on the pod sometime.
He's super solid, man. Yeah.
Can talk disc golf. And then look where Joe finished up.
Yeah.
Tied for 8th after what was nowhere near the weekend that he wanted to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sure he's out practicing harder than he ever has right now because of that week. So just one of those weeks, man, where nothing was clicking. Then we had Devin Jones, who we know because he, once again, is in Wichita playing disc golf a lot. I know Devin's dad lives down south in the Arc City, Winfield, just the other side of the border area somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I think Devin lives towards Emporia part of the time as well. I'm not sure where, but somewhere up there, I think.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think he was pretty excited with his performance. I think he shot well above his rating most
yeah,
rounds. So
well, 2 rounds over 900, and I think those are his first 2.
yeah, that's awesome to do it in a
Yeah,
world
yeah.
situation when the pressure is mounting. That's pretty awesome.
And then Canton Taylor, who's another local kid here. Uh, Landon shot one heck of a final round,
Gosh, it was
1,000
so good.
rated. He was as soon as he finished, I said, "Hey man, good round. Now we just got to wait and hope." And yeah, he eventually got bumped out. He was close, but this is the dude I felt bad for right here, Bennett.
Yeah.
Bennett shot a good last round, was well in the cut. I almost sent his to play the semis. I almost sent his parents a message that said, "Hey, tell Bennett good job, he made the cut." It came down to the last hole, dude. If one dude birdies and the other dude who's playing the card behind him doesn't, pars, they're all in, including Bennett. The only way he could not get into the semifinals is if both of them birdied the last hole, and lo and behold, they both birdied the last hole and bumped him and a bunch of other dudes out. So
Yeah, that was
that was
brutal.
pretty brutal. And then we got to watch Simeon play 3 holes
3
basically
holes, yeah.
after we finished up with Hudson. So yeah, all in all, great worlds for these kids. Looked like the Tulsa crew did an outstanding job. That players pack was
Sick.
incredible.
So much stuff.
Yeah, it looked like they just kept them busy all week. It's tough, man, when you have your whole family there on the way they did it is super smart. I think 1 round a day, get them out early, and then that gives you the rest of the day to enjoy the city of Tulsa with your family, maybe doing non-disc golf things, because like we saw with Sawyer, he wasn't there for the disc golf. So,
but he did find a cool beetle though. So
yes, he did with pincers.
Yeah. So exactly. Well, congratulations to all the kiddos. I know some of them would like to set the rewind button and play that again, but you know what? That's what's going to keep them coming back.
Oh yeah, and it was cool to listen to them all talk about how the best part was meeting new people and making new friends.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. That was really cool and fun to see. I'm glad we went down there. Bronze Burger, meh.
Yeah, we tried some Ron's Burger, little sausage cheeseburger. We tried it. Those burgers were huge. You have to fork it. You can't just pick them up. You got to fork it. But yeah, it was okay. I think Smitty's favorite part of the experience was of that restaurant was the ice. Is that right?
The ice was fantastic. Best ice in Oklahoma. Hey, should we talk about the big show?
Dude, let's do it. Let's get into it, because there was an amazing performance on both sides, really. But the men's came down to something special. But before that even happened,
we can't go beyond the President's Cup.
Yep.
Which let's talk about results, and then let's talk about how we felt about the President's Cup. So,
all right.
Europe versus the U.S., baby. We thought that this might be the year that Europe could give us a little run for our money. We weren't sure what was going to happen. And the first part of the event, the singles play, where they broke them up into 4 people, our top dogs, Paul and Rick, smoked Simon and Nicholas. Simon has had a bad week in general, I felt.
Yeah, he really did. And so this was kind of an interesting format, right? Only 9 holes. It was stroke play, and they did 2 Euros, 2 Americans in each grouping, and it was just the more people you beat, the better, the more points you scored. And so
That's right.
You see, dude, Paul, he only missed 1. He almost caught them all.
Yeah. And I'm guessing he probably didn't even go for 17. So the cool thing was they played a lot of the more entertaining holes. So, and I think the way that course is laid out, it's spread out around city blocks. So I don't know if this was for flow or because they played the better courses, but you can see that Eagle came out on top in the second grouping, followed by the Bazooka, then Anthony, and then Vino Makala. Vino really struggled in the early play.
Yep.
On the ladies portion, as we could have probably predicted, Kristin came out on the top, but look at that, man. If Ella doesn't take that 7,
exactly,
she's right there with her. So that could have been a little bit closer. Evelina and then Missy really struggled on those last 4 holes during singles play. So in the fourth phase or whatever they called it, Gannon Burr picked up the most points for the U.S., followed by Maury. What is that? Maury Villeman. There we go.
Yeah.
And Vinny, dude, was off as well. And then Jakob Simrad, who, yeah, nobody in that group really played that great compared to the other.
I think Gannon and Maury tied, right? So they got the same amount of points there.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that was, we'll talk about it in a little bit. It was what it was.
Yeah. So where did they end up after that, the singles round?
Well, Europe ended up with 11.5, and the U.S. ended up with 16.5. So it was still possible for Europe to come out on the top if they could get hot in the match play portion, which they played the same 9 holes match play. And yeah, I mean, if the chips fall right, they come out and win. And Paulie Labari goes down as the first U.S. captain to lose.
Yeah, and if the way the match play works is you win your match, you get a point, right? It was just worth 1.
I don't remember how many it was worth, but it was match play was worth a little bit more than individual play.
Okay. All right. Well, let's look at those results.
All right. Here's our 2 ladies and our top 2 men's. They had to designate who was going to be their top dude before they started. And our first match was Kristin versus Ella. And as we all knew was going to happen, Kristin came right out and took the L.
Whoa. Ella with the absolute upset.
Winning us the football.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a shocker. We talked last week about maybe and it kind of looks like maybe that's what we did. We put who we thought was our weaker woman up against their big gun, and that's why you play the match, I guess, right?
Yep. She got it done. Match play is a completely different game. You know that.
I do know that. Yeah. So there's no blow ups. You either win the hole or you lose the hole. So that probably did work in Ella's favor a little bit. And then in our second match, we had Big Money Missy versus Evelina, and we got a football. So Evelina got that match and won that. So
okay, I see how this is working now.
Split up match play wise. So then we had Simon versus the Beast. Paul did it, came out, dominated. He only missed 1 hole in the match play. He birdied every single one of them that he played. I think he played 6 of them. So in that set of 9 holes that Paul played almost twice, he had 2 misses.
Wow.
Yeah. So dialed in. And then Rick versus Nick. Another football. And this is kind of what we thought. We figured the men would come out on the top and pull us through. So yeah, AB versus Vino.
AB got it.
Hands down favorite, right?
Yep.
Jakub versus Gannon, the number 1 player in the world versus Jakub. Football. At this point, Europe has dug themselves a pretty big hole and they're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Eagle versus the Bazooka, probably the 2 farthest throwers in the field. Football.
Okay. Wow.
So that leaves us with Vinny versus this other guy. Do you know who this other guy is?
Mari, right?
Yep, Mari Villeman. So we know that Vinny's going to stomp him, right?
Oh yeah, it's Vinny.
Wrong. Football.
Well, I'd say what out of those 8, yeah, Americans got 6 of them. So, and they are your champions. And there's Yuli being as happy as a clam, knowing that he did not become the first American captain to lose the European Open or the President's Cup.
Cup. That's right. So what'd you think of the format and the whole President's Cup?
I don't necessarily dislike the format. I just think we need more of it. Like, I want more. I think Ronnie had made a suggestion last week to where, hey, instead of the All-Star weekend, have it a President's Cup weekend where you can really dive in. I also hate the time difference. It's so hard for me to see some of this stuff. I mean, it was over before I even woke up. You know what I mean? So I would like to see a little bit more, really have, I don't know, more than 9 holes, make it 18. But that's kind of my feelings. What did you think?
Well, I watched the whole thing. I woke up and watched all of it. I think that it is a huge honor to play for your country. I think that winning and losing this was super important to these people. I also think that these were the top dogs, the favorites to perform well over the week, 4-day event, right? So at this point, it's just an exhibition.
Agreed.
You can't expect these athletes to play any more than what they did. It would probably wipe their chances at winning the title, and we just can't do that. So I liked it as an exhibition. I would love it as its own standalone event with, like you said, more playing. I think you could play some 4-ball, 4-disc, where everybody plays and you take the best score. I think you could mix in some doubles. I think you could mix in some match play. And I think you could play more than 9 holes and 9 holes. It just doesn't seem like it was enough for me. But
yeah, so you're thinking some more formats as well, add in more than what they did.
Make it awesome, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Wouldn't you love to see Rick and Paul on a doubles team?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Right? Or bring strategy into it where one of them is 30 foot out or in the perfect layup zone. So then the next guy just tries to uncork something.
I would love to see some worse shot doubles. You know what I mean? Like, what would happen with the worst shot situation?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that too fluky?
Oh, these are the best players in the world.
So a worse shot is still a best shot for most humans.
Yeah, they're gonna be better than all of us. But yeah, I mean, I think they should look at revisiting the format, revisiting the time within the yearly schedule. I don't know when the best time to do it is. It probably, I don't know if this golf's big enough to pay for these people to travel across the ocean and be there for a week to do this kind of an event. If the sponsors cover it, if PGA covers it, who covers it, how do they make money? Because ultimately they're there to play the European Open, and this was just, at this point, a match with their buddies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just as Ronnie called it, just a scored practice round, basically.
Yeah, it has such potential to be just awesome, though. And I really hope they look into it. Because how many years has that ran in a row? Do you even know?
Well, I think this was the 12th one or something like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I would take this over the All-Star Weekend, a revamped version of this.
Yes.
Just to kick the season off might be fantastic. So hopefully they'll look at that and kind of see what's going on with it. So yeah.
I'm just looking at this. I didn't realize Ricky had the American flag sleeve on, huh?
Oh yeah, Rick was loving it, and they had a blast. And you know, Yuli's somewhat injured. I don't know what happened to him, but he didn't play the event. I don't know if you realize that or not. So
I
something
knew
with
he
an arm
subbed.
or shoulder.
Did he sub in AB for him?
That's
Or
why, yeah, that would be
that's
why
why AB was
no,
on?
no. AB was his pick. His reserve was
Oh,
Kyle Klein. The captain doesn't play, but he didn't.
okay.
Rick or Yuli didn't play the European Open.
Oh, no, I don't think I realized that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's enough President's Cup talk. I think it's time to talk about the big show, and
Let's
it
get
was
into it.
good.
It was.
Both men's and women's was good.
There she
Congratulations
is.
obviously goes to Kristin Tatar, right? So you can see there, Statmando says that was the biggest last round comeback in the history of majors, which is incredible. And
7-stroke final comeback. Final
yeah,
round comeback. Crazy.
the crazy thing is though, the person that was 7 ahead wasn't even in contention when the dust cleared. She was, I think, I forget how many Silva was ahead of her, but that was the closest competition. So yeah, how to start out, man. Starting out the first round, it looked like this was just going to be a Tatar beat down, dude. She came out and just jumped out to commanding lead over all of them. Then round 2, she slowed down a little bit, and Evelina was hot, and Evelina closed that gap to just a single shot. Round 3, boy, oh boy, that was a tough round.
Yeah, something we are definitely not accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, 7 OBs, 9 on the week, 7 in one round. And it was her lowest rated round since 2018.
Yeah, she shot. What did she shoot? It was
908, something like that.
906.
Yeah.
Almost sub 900 rated from definitely the best woman player in the world. That was so uncharacteristic.
Well, she just was the victim of bad break after bad break after bad break. I mean, it was it was tough to watch, and but you couldn't tell it on her face. She wasn't blaming anybody, but she just couldn't believe what was happening. It was yeah. But who did show out was Silva. Silva played fantastic the third round, and went right past Kristin and was 3 back of Evelina, setting up a doozy of a final round, which we already know the result. Kristin's going to come out and just smash and make up 7 strokes, but Silva was right there, dude. Just
she was
a few miscues out of the fairway and off the tee is really what cost her. And I saw this at the 2 previous events, that sometimes she throws them low and she just has early release issues, and it stung her. It stung her hard. And then Evelina had the same old issues that she always has. Throw the disc really well. Didn't have a lot of good putts, but she also had a tremendous amount of OBs that last round. There's just so much OB lining that course at the Beast that you're just a little bit off and you're dead. You're drawn dead right there where you're off. And then we can't glaze over Missy Gannon being the top American and shooting a really nice final round to jump into third place. So
yeah. Honestly, I wish I could say I was surprised that Kristin made that comeback, but man, didn't we all see it coming? And Evelina had some of her putting woes, and we're not going to harp on it. We know what it is. We know what happens with her, but it was not a great tournament for her as far as that concerned. She was 5 strokes ahead of Silva, or 3?
3 ahead of Silva.
3 ahead of Silva, 7 ahead of Tatar, and she doesn't even finish on the podium. So that kind of tells you what kind of last round Evelina had. But I think I'm more sad for Silva, who, gosh, she was right there. You know, it only took Kristin 9 holes to tie them, to get a tie for the lead. It only took her a front 9. And my goodness, after 7 strokes to lose that all in 9 holes. Oh. And then Silva took the lead on like hole 11 and then throws into a tree OB. And that kind of spelled the end for her.
Silva even had an opportunity going into hole 18, which that tournament, if it comes down to 18, who knows what's going to happen. But
yeah, that was what I was going to ask you on 17, right? She was fairly deep, but she has an opportunity to run that putt. If she misses, it's a downhill putt. If she misses, she probably goes OB and it's over. Do you run that putt if you're Silva, knowing that she has more confidence on the green than on the fairway?
Without knowing exactly what the winds were and what else was going on, I can't really say, but she's by far the best putter in the field. And I looked at a stat. She made over 1,000 feet of putts over the weekend, something like that. And Kristin was 840 something. So yeah, Silva made a lot of great putts, but you know, time and place, dude. Hole 18 can give up so many strokes. Maybe she felt like she had a solid game plan for 18 and was gonna scrap out a birdie. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. And I know Kristin went OB 18 the round before, and she almost went OB again. I mean, she was still flirting with that line on her tee shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yep. But awesome for Tatar to pick up another major win. There's no doubt in my mind that she's going to surpass most of these ladies and become the most winning female of all time and take the title of GOAT, which, once again, another notch in her belt, step closer to that.
Yeah. And as you can all see there, this was Tatar's 7th major title, and she's already tied for 3rd most all time with Elaine King, Des Redding, and Katrina Allen.
I'm guessing Val Jenkins and obviously Paige are ahead of her.
Yep.
Maybe JK. So, anywho, let's move on to the dudes. What about this guy? What about this guy, man? Let's just talk a little bit about him before we get into the tournament.
I mean, he is on another level. He is incredible. He's so young, too, doing it at such a young age. And, like, I mean, he is superior. And this was an event, man, and it came down to it, too. So let's kind of just talk the first 3 rounds first, and then let's really dig into that final round because that was fun.
Yeah, round 1 was Paul, Macbeth, and Rick both played well. Not awesome. There's a couple of dudes that we don't often hear. Randon Lotta, he played, I think it was Portland Open. He got up there in the lead card, but Randon Lotta shot a fantastic first round and had the lead. Paul and Rick found themselves tied for 4th place. So one of them on the lead card, Paul on the lead card, Rick top of the chase card. Gannon, man, he looked like he was struggling that first round, looked like he was going to be out of it. But if there's one thing we've learned this year is this kid is never out. Never out. So he and little Nicholas, these are the 4 dudes that the storyline is going to revolve around. These are the 4 dudes that by the end, you know, had the shot at winning. And there's a lot of other tremendous performances as well, but these dudes, they brought it. And little Nick and Gannon were tied for 8th. I don't know if I said that or not. So round 2.
Rain, go away.
Yeah, what a weird deal though, man. Some people got a whole round in. Germ, I watched a Instagram about him. He said his hole was a mile out, and he walked out to his hole and back 3 times, and amongst their group threw 7 shots. So he didn't finish his round, but he got most of it in. But none of this was on camera, and I don't know what was going on, but I can only assume those dudes were out there playing in the rain and on that monster course. And gee whiz, they were even after the rain, they were struggling with some footing issues. So I can only imagine how tough it was to go out there and play in that stuff. So did you see the rain on was the first round they played out there, the very first hole?
I didn't get to see now.
Man, it was so hard. It was hard. Eagle took about 0.25 seconds to throw his first tee shot. He just ran out from his umbrella and ripped it and ran back. And I was thinking, bro, you're going to get wet. I don't know what you're trying to prove. Just do it. But he threw it down there and laced it, I guess. So he knew what he was doing. But yeah, the round ultimately got postponed until the next day, meaning setting up a long day for these dudes.
On some long courses.
36 holes. You know who it didn't bother? That guy in the picture.
That's because he's like 12 years old.
19. Course record at the Monster. Course record at the Beast.
Dang.
Both in one day. So, yeah, the lead card played 36 holes. I think the chase card might have played 34. So they had a lot of golf going on. But at the end of the day, Gannon had the lead, thanks to 2 course records. Paul was 3 back, Rick was 4 back, and Little Nick was 7 back. So setting up what I was so excited for, man. 2 of the greatest players I've ever seen. The future greatest player of all time, most likely, and Europe's dude, right? The hometown boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was no way I was doing anything that day of the finals except sitting on my couch or in this chair right here watching this event go down.
Yeah. So let's set the stage here. So final round. We go into it. Gannon's leading by 3 strokes over Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Rick is 1 back from Paul, and Niklas is 3 back from Rick. Mm-hmm. And then tell me what happened, because this whole round was great, but after the front 9, that's when things get really interesting.
Yeah, well, starting right off the bat, Gannon pulls his drive right on hole 1. Beast throws a mid-range that goes straight. He's going to miss hole 1. And Rick straight up parks it. And, well, for him, puts it well inside the circle, bangs a putt, same as Nicholas. Nicholas was parked. So Rick catches one on both of them first hole. And I'm like, here we go, baby. This is going to be fantastic. Well, I was thinking Gannon might be shaken. Yeah, he was so scared that he went ahead and birdied 8 of the next 9 holes.
Yeah, that's just another level. You know, he felt a little pressure and then turned it on. What did Rick do during that stretch?
Rick was not bad himself. Rick went 5 down over the stretch with one of the nastiest eagles.
Oh, I saw that one.
That you could see on hole 5. He threw that tee shot so far, and they probably didn't show Paul's tee shot in the highlights that you saw, but Paul cleared the OB as well and was just OB left a little bit. But man, Rick flat smoked that sucker. That drive was amazing. So that gets us into hole 10. And this is when the tournament picked up, dude. I didn't sit down for the next hour and a half. Right? So I'm just going to tell you how it went down. I'm going to tell you everything that I saw, my take on it.
All right, yeah, because I don't have DGN Pro.
I do. So hole 10, that's the longs, downhill drive, left turning hole, big tall fence, slope green with the hay bales. Rick throws a drive right down the middle, and this thing looks like it is laced to the honey hole. It skipped off the top of a manhole cover in the middle of the field. Okay, and just takes off jetting towards the OB left. just comes up just short of OB and safe.
Oh,
Gannon steps up. I mean, so Rick probably gained 50, 60 feet off of this skip, right? So you're thinking, wow, that's amazing. Gannon steps up and outdrives him, pure outdrives him, all air, perfect shot, boom, to the middle of the fairway. That's the easy part of that hole. Okay, so Rick is up. Those highs are up there, ends up about 18 to 20 feet above the hole. You know he's making it. It's final Rick. He's ready to go. Gannon dang near rang that sucker up for the eagle. It came in right in front of the basket or behind it. Unfortunately for Gannon, though, it kicked up, caught a wheel, rolled out the backside OB.
oh, dang.
Sitting just edge of the circle. So at this point, you think, okay, Rick's going to catch one on him. Rick's going to get a birdie. Gannon's going to chip this in for the par. Gannon missed. Boom. Top of the basket hit the plate, and had a few words for the crowd.
Oh,
Please don't talk while I'm putting. He was frustrated. Cleaned it up for a bogey, so Rick caught 2 on him. Okay, so now Rick's two back, 1 back. It's close. So then they both get 11 through 13.
right.
On fire, unconscious, just great shot after great shot through 13. Hole 14. This is where it got crazy, dude. 14 is a gap shot out into a big old field, right turning fairway. Rick steps up there and straight just laces this flick shot all the way down there to the right, perfect in the honey hole. I've never seen Gannon throw a roller in my entire life.
Oh, he went roller.
Perfect. Past Rick. It was incredible. Which I was shocked because Gannon has a tremendous forehand. Anyhow, Rick goes up there, flicks I'm assuming a heart to about 8 feet. Guaranteed birdie. Gannon completely fluffs his up shot to about 50 feet, maybe just inside 50 feet. Death putt behind the basket. And I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go. This is game on right here, baby. Spoiler alert, this is going to be the 19th hole. This is the shot of the tournament.
45 feet uphill?
Flat, but downhill straight behind it.
Okay.
Dead heart, fist pump, boom.
Oh, man.
And I couldn't believe it, dude. It was incredible, the pace that he put on that thing. If that thing misses, it's going so far down that dang hill. Okay, which takes him into hole 15. And I don't know if you watched Rick play 15 on round 3, but he played it for par.
Yeah, he doesn't go for it, right?
No, and Gannon goes spike hyzer out over the OB and comes back in. So Rick's up, and I'm thinking, he's got to go. You got to go for it, Rick. Sucker laid it up.
That's his game plan.
And that kudos to him for sticking to it. First day he left it shorter on his upshot, though, and ended up with a par. So Gannon's up, throws it out there higher than he wants, gets a little float left, and I'm thinking, this baby's going OB. Boom, spikes in safe, edge of the circle. So Gannon's got a putt. Rick's got forever and a day. Rick just lays it up, sticks to the game plan, lays it up, guaranteed 3. Gannon misses left side 3. So just made a 45-footer. This one was just inside the circle, barely inside the circle. So it would have been an awesome putt. There was OB behind it. There was a lot going on. 5,500 people watching you, right? So much pressure. And like Ronnie always says, pressure bursts pipes.
Yep.
So Gannon ended up missing that, moving us into hole 16.
And here we go.
Here we go.
The island.
The island, which, man, I hope they revisit that and change the rules because
terrible.
I hated the change, completely hated it. But
So bad.
both throw their drives. Gannon's is a little bit farther than Rick's. So Rick is up first. Flicks his clear disc, don't know what it is, overstable as heck. Comes in, clears the hay bales by a foot, skips a park job. Rick's going to get a bird. We go to Gannon, and I'm thinking, oh, man. Gannon's a student of the game. Gannon's watched AB's meltdown last year. Gannon's got to be nervous as heck. Whoo! Flicks it out there. That thing had to be an inch from the dead center of that island. It was the most perfect shot
It was.
you could throw at this situation. And in fact, the entire card birdied that. Paul McBeth's still right on these guys' tail, right? He's not out of it. So then hole 17. And Rick's two back going into 17. He's got the box. And I'm guaranteeing you that shot was on your highlights.
Yep.
Absolute park job. Absolute. And I don't know what Gannon did day one. I don't know if he flicked it or went back, or day three, excuse me. But he went flick, came in, hit that light pole.
Yeah. Stayed in bounds, though.
Yeah, which is really lucky to stay in bounds. We don't know what it was going to do if it didn't hit that light pole. Nate Perkins seems to think it was going to be out deep on the backside. Really? Yeah, I saw a lot of discs that people flicked hit on that edge or that slope and catch edge and roll out of bounds. So we don't know what was going to happen regardless, but he was just a few inches inside the circle, and I told Ronnie, well, I don't even know why they're making him putt it. I have no idea why they're making this kid putt. Just give it to him, walk on the next hole.
Yep.
Doink. Roll right OB. Tie ball game going into 18. Just what we all were waiting for, man.
You couldn't script that any better. To have, arguably one of the best putters currently to date go face mask and then roll down that hill OB and then have a tie ball game going into 18. Tell me about 18 because this is where it got
Rick steps up, leans on that green general that he's been throwing the entire round, flicked it up there, lucky to not be under the cedar or pine tree, ends up just on the front side of it with a little bit of a obstructed run up. In fact, he had to take an abbreviated run up, which he said later changed his disc selection. He didn't think he was going to have enough pop to throw the disc, I'm assuming a Fallon that he wanted to throw, so he had to go with a little straighter one. Gannon, which I was for sure he was going to flick it, steps up there and crushed a backhand and came in, same as Rick, just right in front of a tree. Actually, he went past the tree and behind it, but he had plenty of room. The tree wasn't any obstruction to him, so we're still tied. Tough up shot for Rick.
Yeah, Rick is in the tree with his run up.
Yeah, he can't take a full run up that he wants. Got the tree, and then I'm guessing the tree was in his backswing also, but that tree wasn't going to stop him, man. He was going to try to chop right through that sucker, no worries. But like I said, he threw a little bit straighter disc than he wanted to, and it just held straight. And, if that thing's 3 feet higher, it probably stalls out and it's safe. So he's got a weird run up to a narrowing choke point, hits the bottom of the stage in OB. So Gannon, I was shocked he attacked the pin. He must have practiced that a million times.
Yeah, it seemed like
he just absolutely parked it. And then in his post-round interview, he said, "Yeah, I don't want to go into a playoff with Ricky Wysocki."
Smart kid, student of the game for sure.
Well, because if Gannon plays that for par and gets a par, right? Chips up, chips in. What's Rick? Rick's 1, 2 out.
He's shooting.
Rick 100%. Rick 100% makes that putt if he has to have it.
Yep.
Rick's the most amazing pressure player that I think we've ever seen. So, but dude, that round was so exciting. It was like Ricky was in full control of everything, parking everything, and Gannon was just toying with him. It was like, you're gonna get a stroke here. Oh no, you're not. Bang. He made a knee putt from on a hill behind a tree.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
So, do you think
Nuts.
Rick's drive on 18 was off? Do you think he put a little too much ante on it to hold it straighter than he wanted?
The initial drive,
Yeah, on 18.
I think it was just 5 foot shorter than probably where he's been all week long. So, yeah, I mean, if he's even 2 foot farther and has a full approach, we don't know what happens. He throws the disc he wants, he probably pinned. And if he's safe, puts a little more pressure on Gannon. Gannon sure made that look easy though, but who knows what happens. But yeah, what an amazing finish to a tournament. Gannon Burr picking up his second major win. How many is that dude gonna win?
Yeah, that's my question to you, dude. Does Gannon Burr get more majors in his career than Macbeth will get?
Well, we don't know because Macbeth's not done.
Well, that's true. But do you think overall, once their careers are said and done, do you think Gannon has more majors than Paul?
I think the potential is there for Gannon to be the most winning player we've ever had, and
you say he sniffs the champ?
Well, Paul and the champ are there. Paul needed this. If Paul wins this, he ties Climo.
Oh, okay.
Majors. So they're the same dude, and Paul will get another one. And I mean, the argument's been for years that Paul's beaten more people than the champ did to get to this point. Well, I got news for you. Gannon Burr is beating more people than Paul had to beat. So, and we just came from Junior Worlds, Lucas, and there's another Gannon Burr out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
He's just 7. Right?
Yeah, I remember.
Gannon Burr almost could have been playing at that Worlds.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that funny? Isn't that crazy? You know, we were walking around and just seeing, and I just remember you just looking at these kids and they would bang a putt and you're like, what the heck is going on? Like every one of them just is banging putts. It didn't matter what age they were, just heart, so many of them. And it's just going to be so exciting.
So to answer your question, I don't know. Do I think he has the potential to win more majors than Paul Macbeth? Yes. Do I think that Paul Macbeth might win 5 more? Yes. We don't know what's going to happen, right? I mean, Paul, we were writing that dude off.
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3 months ago, and these courses suited his game better.
Yeah.
He needs to maybe get a new footwear sponsor because he was slipping and sliding all over those tee pads. But yeah, dude, Paul Macbeth's far from done, and I can't answer your question.
All right, I'm thinking it happens. So I think Gannon has more than anyone before his career's said and done.
It's highly likely.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk some storylines. So Gannon, amazing, but let's talk about these courses, right?
Let's talk about this first.
Oh, just these guys on the podium,
dude,
back at it like it's the old days.
2 of my dudes that I've been rooting for years, both with a shot to win going into the final day. Think how long these 2 have been doing this. I really wanted Rick to get this win and break that drought, but he's not done, man.
No,
he's not done. It's incredible that these 2 guys have been the 2 dudes for a long time, and they're still 2 of the 3 dudes now.
Yeah, it was awesome to see their names up on the leaderboard all week, and what a gutsy performance from Paul. And he's not even talked about in our recap because of what Gannon and Rick did.
And he was just a couple back.
Yeah.
right? Rick destroyed the course record that Gannon set the day before and lost the tournament with a bogey on the last hole.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
It was an incredible thing. Let's talk about the course a little bit. This is all about the monster.
Okay.
Okay, because we hadn't seen the monster until this week. So let's run through these a little bit and then let's talk about a couple of them.
Okay.
Here's hole 6. The green on hole 6. Hole 6 itself is right around 300 feet. This green, I didn't know what I thought about it until I saw it play out. We'll come back a little bit. I'll let you talk about it. This is the green on hole 5, right? Look at all these trees just within the bullseye.
Yeah.
Once again, I'll let you talk about it and then I'll tell you what I think.
All right.
Hole 7. This pond, Gannon Burr, through an amazing hyzer, hit out left of this pond, and he and Simon both went in the pond. Okay? Talk about that here in a minute. Okay. Hole 12, I put that on there just because that is one beautiful green.
Yes, it is.
That thing is beautiful. These two trees that they shored up the front of it with, and then this is Corey Ellis putted from here. I had no idea what the backside of this looked like until he putted, but you can see on the top bottom right hand corner of the picture underneath the 12, you see that big rock. Mm-hmm. That's the backside of that boulder. That thing is massive. So beautiful green. We don't have to talk about 12. We're both going to agree that thing's sick.
Awesome.
I don't know what I think about this thing on 13. I kind of like it, but you know why.
Yeah, it's of course I know why.
And then I would do it a little bit differently, but pretty cool. And then hole 18, the submarine, they call it. Okay, so some interesting course designs here. Man-made, designed specifically for disc golf, except for that beautiful green. So what do you think about 6?
6, love it. I love this because there is so much danger around it, and you have to be so specific. You have to land on that left side, because if you hit the hill at all on the right-hand side, you're going down the hill. I love that it's such a placement shot. It reminds me of like true ball golf, to where you have to hit it on a certain part of the green in order to have a good putt, because of how the green slopes or slants. And so love that one. What are your thoughts on 6?
I love the fact that if you want the easy putt, you have to land where that disc is on that top picture.
Yep.
And that's still not an easy putt. I saw a couple people miss it. When they played it, it was so wet that they were going spike hyzer into the right side of it and sticking them into the side of the hill. So if it's not that wet, it'd be really interesting to see how it played. But yeah, you say you have to be careful, but that kid putting on the bottom picture, that's a putt that he had just ran from 15 feet off of the steep side and missed and ended up there. And he wasn't very careful with that one either, but he made it. What do you think about hole 5 here?
Hole 5, I usually don't
surrounded by trees, man.
I don't love that much stuff in the circle. I don't like that much obstructions. I'd like to have a specific line to get there. That being said, I also love when you have to get a little bit creative on the green as well. And I think that was the intention with this hole, is you're usually not going to have a straight putt at it. You're probably going to have to get creative. So I'm indifferent. I would prefer there was a little bit more of a gap, though, to park the hole. What are your thoughts?
I love it. It's the green of a par 4. So they're approaching from different distances, different shots. It's got a whole bunch of wood chips around it and a little a base around it as well. Okay. I'm with you. I usually don't like trees close to the basket, but I don't have any problem with any of these for a couple of reasons. Number one, If you look at them, there's no double trunks.
Okay.
They're all one tree. They're also all straight up and down. There's nothing weird. They're all perfectly straight. And there's gaps between them. So no matter where you land, and they're not cottonwood trees that are 100 years old and so big around you can't hug them. You could reach around any of these trees. No matter where you land, you're going to have a putt. You're not going to have your normal setup putt, most likely, but you're going to be able to straddle out or bend it around it or do something to make the putt. So I have zero problems with these trees being on the edge of the bullseye here. In fact, I like it. I think it adds to this hole.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, I do like the idea of having to get creative to make a putt. I think that makes it fun. So yeah, there's a lot of cool choices with this course. What's not a cool choice though is hole 7. I don't love how close that is. I didn't get to watch this one play out as much. I'm going to let you give me your thoughts more on this before I continue on.
Well, what really makes it is that you can't lay up left either because you can, but there's OB left. So you could try to lay up safe left and be OB, or you can try to attack it and take your chances at being OB a little bit closer. In fact, do you see that disc flying in right there, directly under the 7? That's Gannon and Ricky. So I got that on a screen capture of the live coverage, but this is the one of all of them that I'm the most against. I just feel like it's just a little bit too close, and that was an amazing shot that ended up out of bounds. I mean, it was nasty. It was coming in on a hyzer, and somehow it skipped off to the right. So I don't hate this. I think it's unique. I just wish there was a little bit more safe zone there.
Yeah, I agree, because this was on a par 4, right? So usually, how far are they when they're approaching? Like
they're outside of 300.
Yeah, and I think that's where it is. It's like they could go long, but I think back behind, wasn't there OB?
I don't know for sure. I never saw anybody go ripping past the basket. So which leads me to think that there's some reason not to. Well, you don't want this putt coming back at this dang thing either.
That's true too. But I just think kind of the same thing as we've talked about it with some of the island holes that we've seen. Just give a little bit more room to land safely.
Yeah,
because I don't like how close it is too. Because if you have a great shot, I could see it hitting that and going in the water too, hitting the cage, hitting the hole, hitting something and going OB after a great shot.
Once again, you see that disc flying in the water there? Yeah. That was an amazing shot by Gannon and Ricky. It was sick. Sick, but ended up OB. Hole 13.
So nothing says, hey, I love this hole and I love Millbrook. Is this as Millbrook as it gets for you, Smitty?
That thing is so tall. Do you know why it's there?
No, I don't. I didn't understand this at all.
Well, because a bad shot, I guess it's a bad shot. A shot, not the shot that the designer wanted you to take, sawed off shot, a hyzered out shot, ends up in this opening where this is the approach. And that's not what he wanted. He didn't want people to start sawing them off or throwing for this gap. He wanted them to play around the corner the way he envisioned the hole. So instead of putting a Mando, he put a huge 20-foot tall fence that you can go for that if you want. So I saw several people, Gannon Burr, ended up in the bad spot and just chipped over the top of it. It's just like a bunker, right? It's not a big deal. They didn't throw a terrible shot. They just didn't throw the prescribed shot. So instead of forcing them to go that way with the Mando or giving them a stroke for doing something wrong, he just said, hey, you're more than welcome to do it, but it's not going to be easy.
Okay, made the difficulty factor a little higher.
I saw
Okay.
I saw Simon play this hole the right way, ended up in a tree, and threw the most amazing 300-foot from your knee shot you can ever see in your life, and parked it right because he played it the right way. He played a super duper hard shot. Why should Gannon Burr chip over here and have a bad shot and have an easier approach?
Yeah. All right. You've sold me.
Do I want to see this on every single course? No. Do I think it works on this course? Yes. In this spot, I like it.
If you're watching, tell us what you think of that thing if you saw, because I wonder if you're on the same page. Smitty sold me, so I like it now. But maybe you in the comments could sway me to the other side.
Well, if they don't like it, don't comment, and we'll know. So we get no comments. That means nobody likes it. So, hole 18. What'd you think?
I like the tiered. I again, it kind of reminds me of hole 6, to where you have to make a decision on where you want to land it, and there's treachery. I love a treacherous green. That thing is high up there, though, man. But yeah, I enjoy this one. What do you think?
Love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely
kind of the same
love it.
reasons, right? Same reasons as 6.
I watched Nicholas Antala put it on the lock.
Oh God, yes.
Softest, most
the
beautiful
smoothest.
flex mid-range you've ever seen. I saw Gannon Burr blow past it off the backside of that thing. Can a putt for the course record.
Yeah, that putt was stupid.
Yes, I saw.
No one runs that. Who's running that, Gannon?
Gannon Burr. I saw Roland Kjoller, I think's his last name. 16-year-old kid from Estonia. This hole brutalized that kid. Brutalized it. Because if you putt anything and hit unit and come down on that top hump, which that's my only complaint. That top hump looks like garbage with that
I don't love
material
that
on there. I wish I wish it was grass, and I think hopefully they'll get grass. Maybe grass can't grow because it's so steep. I don't know what the deal is, but this hole brutalized that poor kid, man. And he was on position to be chase or even lead card if they would have played. So yeah, man, everything on there is good. Move that basket away from that one pond just a little bit, and whoo, you got good stuff.
Yeah,
Course
great course.
Is slick, man.
Yeah, great course. But you know what else was great? The crowd, man. So many people. It was
5,500. They said
it's not like that in the States at all. I mean,
free entry.
Ain't that a novel idea?
You would not have this many people in the U.S. even if it was free entry.
You don't think so?
Nah, most likely not. I mean, these people came out in groves to just watch most spectacular finish they could ever hope for. And what in the heck? How polite were they?
God. Well, not polite enough that Gannon's not going to scream at him.
If he makes that putt, he doesn't say anything. But all it took every time was UC saying, "Stop moving, please." And they would just stop. And you didn't hear people yelling, "Get in the hole," or any of that stuff. They were there to see it, not be part of it, really.
Yeah.
But man, live.
Yeah. Such a different respect for the game, right?
I think we don't have a picture of hole 2, but when they were playing hole 2, holy crap, dude. 5 deep all the way down both sides. Had to be. It was awesome. And Nicholas threw a roller down out that left side, and whoosh, everybody got out of the way. No chairs, no umbrellas, no water jugs, nothing. Came right back in. Probably because they're rooting for Nicholas. If that had been Chris Dickerson, they probably kicked it over. So, yeah, dude, amazing crowd. They did have some VIP stuff here, and the Monster did charge to go in. there's just so many at the Beast. There's just so many entry points to the course that they could never police. Who could come in and out there? So the VIP sections do that, and this Worlds is going to be the last time for the Beast, I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they're talking about construction and other things coming up. So, yeah, we got treated to a fantastic tournament here. We'll probably get treated to a fantastic tournament at Worlds next year, and then we may not see the Beast anymore.
Ooh,
so that's a little disappointing.
That does stink. But I mean, that monster was amazing.
You know what doesn't stink?
You doing the accent.
Dude, I don't know if Etsapeka is the most amazing disc golf commentator ever, or if it's just his accent and the way that he says things.
His energy. Yeah.
He did not do that, Brian Earhart. I just love it, man. So good, and it feels genuine, and everybody already knows how I feel about Brian Earhart. I think he's the best. He is good. These two worked awesome together. Man, it was good.
Yeah, I just remember, because we were coming back from Tulsa, and just every time he would say something, we'd both just kind of giggle, but like it was in such like a fascination with how good it sounded and how fun he made it. Like,
I remember one time Dave said, Ricky, and I'm like, yes, this guy. Oh, that's what this guy. He did not do that, Brian Earhart.
Yeah, dude, he was so fun to watch. Yeah, and listen to, and we need more of him. Just every tournament.
Nah, I don't want him every tournament because then he gets played out. I want him.
Okay.
I want
only
him
for this
tournaments.
All right.
Wouldn't mind him at Worlds. And you know who else is really good? When they would go to Nate Perkins and that Eric Oakley lookalike, that guy's good too, man.
Yeah. I don't remember that guy's name. But yeah, he was his doppelganger.
Yeah, and honestly, the way this whole thing played out with that weather delay, that third round is exactly how I would like to watch Disc Golf Pro Tour. Main focus on the men's section of the tournament. And then we kept cutting to the ladies who were playing at the Beast while the men were finishing at the Monster. It got a little bit rapid fire in places for me. I had a hard time keeping track of what was going on, but I didn't miss any of the important stuff on the ladies division, and I got to focus on what I wanted. And then until the two divisions are equally as talented throughout, I don't need to see third card of ladies. I don't want to, but I do want to see when some dude on the 18th card of the men's throws the most incredible drive you've ever seen, and it's impossible to even fathom. I want to see that, and I saw some of that with the way they were bouncing around this cover. Not the 18th card because there wasn't 18 playing, but it was fantastic. That's the way I want to see it.
Yeah, I think it was really fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. What do we got next?
Oh, yeah, James Proctor. So James, during the weather delay, decided he would message the PDGA, tag PDGA Europe and say, hey, can I drink this pineapple drink? It's a little bit alcoholic, and he wanted it during a weather delay. He said asking for a friend, though. And PDGA Europe replied and said, yes, up to 2 minutes before restart. So I loved that. You told me this story, Smitty, and I just died. I think it's so cool.
I don't know who has taken over the PDGA social media accounts, but man, they are battling it out with the Wendy's social media accounts because Wendy's is good. If you've never looked at that, go to Wendy's Twitter and check that out. But whoever's doing this is great. What a great response, right? But it's not as good as the what was the Isaac Robinson? Oh, I forget something. They clapped back at somebody who was giving Isaac Robinson crap. They may have said, "Ask your mom what Isaac Robinson
Yeah,
did."
Isaac. I think Isaac said it, right?
Maybe, but I thought the PDJ said something along those lines too. Maybe I'm.
I thought it was just Isaac that clapped back.
Well, way to go, Isaac.
He said something like, "Your mom would know," or something like that, and it just made me instantly love the guy more.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah. So, two more things I just want to mention is we were watching Vinny like a hawk because, dude, he had 2 rounds in a row that were below 1,000 rated. And then we were thinking, is he going to keep his catch streak alive? And the last 2 rounds, he just slayed it. And it wasn't even close to him. He got finished like 23rd. But man, I was thinking he was done for. What did you think about him shooting sub 1,000 rated rounds 2 rounds in a row?
That course is hard. And we don't know how much time Vinny had put into practice there. We don't know what conditions Vinny was playing in. He may have been he shot bad the first round, so he's probably playing in a downpour through the second round. When he got over to the Beast, though, we know 100% that he's familiar with the Beast, and the Beast suits Vinny's game. Bullseye lasers all day long over there. So, yeah, I mean, I was concerned he was going to make the cash, but he got deep into the cash.
Oh, yeah.
From that.
It wasn't even a question at the end. And then let's talk about someone that didn't make the trip over.
Hang on a minute. What about Anthony Barella?
I didn't even see Anthony.
Anthony had to birdie the last hole, birdie 18, to make the cash.
Oh.
Snuck out last cash on hole 18.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that tight.
Yep, it was tight. Right. You want to talk Owen?
Yeah, let's talk Owen. She didn't make the trip. She's in California. And you know what she's doing, Smitty? She's playing with the guys. She's playing in MPO. She did it on Saturday at an unsanctioned event, and then Sunday at a sanctioned event. She slayed on Saturday, won first place against the dudes. And then look at today, which is Sunday. She was 1 stroke out of winning. I think there's 24 dudes here, all MPO players?
Over 20, yeah. 2 of them are 1,000 rated. This guy that beat her was 1,013-ish, and then Chris Shotwell's a Masters player, and he's over 1,000, and she beat him. But yeah, incredible. Now, you see where it's at. It's at Oak Grove.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming means it's at the First Disc Golf Course. So I'm assuming it's not super duper long. There's no hole distances or anything labeled on the PGA
25 holes. But man, she's competing, so that's just awesome to see.
Yeah, she's a bogey on hole 24 away from a playoff. That'd be cool. So, but I didn't look at any of these other divisions to see how large they were, but 27 in that division. Let's just look at MP40. So, hey, there's her husband, Justin.
Yeah.
So 8 in there. So, pretty good sized event. Pretty cool though for Owen.
Pretty awesome. We also had a local make the trip. He's there for work, I think.
Is that Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie Hemstock.
Tied for 4th.
Shot 1,000 rated round, but Owen said, "I got you, Charlie."
We'll have to ask Charlie what the course was like.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty awesome. So
pretty cool.
Yeah, Owen. Love that she's doing that.
Well, that's what's popping.
That's what's popping. We took some time to talk about that, but it was needed. It was exciting. But let's move into another segment. We're not going to do a top 10 or top 5 today, but we're just going to jump right into weekly picks. And let's look at how we did at the European Open. Smitty, tell me what we got here.
We got our stinks. We got
And boy, are we
Ronnie.
bad at this.
Yeah, we are. We got Ronnie going with Matt Bell, which I thought was an interesting pick for a stink. I thought he might be a better sleeper pick, but
Yeah.
went for a stink. I went with Chris Dickerson, and you went with Ezra Robinson.
Yeah, and the thing is why that was interesting, Matt Bell, is because the better they play, the easier it is if they play subpar to win, because we take their average finish based off where they finish this tournament. And so Matt Bell usually isn't finishing too high up. So I'm really interested to see how this played out.
Like Ronnie said, man, you'd be surprised. Ronnie would not just pick Matt Bell to pick him. Ronnie studied it, and Ronnie knew where Matt Bell would normally finish. So
let me see. No, it didn't matter. One of us were top 10, so we all got red.
Yeah, I couldn't give anybody anything but red. If your stink's in the top 10, you're getting red.
All right. Well, yeah. you had the worst, just for the record.
I ain't no chump. There's our sleepers. Ronnie went with James Conrad.
Is that the Wind Dragon?
To which I laughed. I have Eagle and the Wind Dragon. And you went with Vino Makala.
Hey, let's go, Vino. Pretty good tournament.
Yeah, Vino and James both performed better than their average. Vino averages 36th place, so 13 better, and James averages 46th place, so 4 better. And we don't need to talk about my guy.
Yeah.
Because he would have done much better without the Diskin Gale's curse.
Yeah, because when we look at shines.
Yeah, I knew I was toast the second you did that. I should have switched. I should have switched on the spot. Nobody would have known. I could have said anybody but Eagle and had a better shot. Oh, boy. Shines is pretty obvious. We've already talked about it.
Yeah,
we know who's going to win. We know who's going to have this hot final day and get the yellow. And we know who's got the Wind Dragon on their shoulder.
So the real question is who wins this week? Does Ronnie win with 2 yellows and not a green? Or do I win with, or do we all share a victory here? Or I guess really it's a loss. None of us really won, I feel.
Well, the rule is if your guy wins the tournament and you pick him, you
win. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I see how we're making up rules as we go. No problem.
Hey, I said the guy was going to win, and he did. That should be worth more than saying somebody's going to stink or somebody's going to do good.
Yeah, but you could also pick that dude every freaking week.
Yeah. Next season, we're going to have to put a limit on.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start tracking it.
We could still do that now. We could go back through the episodes and
not it.
You don't have anything to do for a whole month. You can fast forward right to it, listen, jot it down, type in a spreadsheet, take it 20 minutes.
All right. Sure. Yes. Talk me into it again. I'm pretty susceptible to peer pressure.
Well, we have another event coming up this weekend, the European Disc Golf Festival. We had a heck of a time finding any information on the course. I found a video that I watched from something they did there last year or the year before. I've seen the amphitheater hole. I remember that. I also remember them playing, I feel like, through a bunch of fences and grassed in area. I think this is where I first was introduced to Silva. But we don't know anything.
No caddy book, no nothing.
We're drawn blind.
Which might be really good for me.
Good for you, bad for me, really bad for Ronnie. Because if there's somebody that's going to know, it's Ronnie.
Yep. Dude knows his stuff. Yeah, let's start with a Ronnie pick.
All right. Let's start shy.
All right.
Ronnie went with the Beast.
Okay. Yeah.
I love the pick.
A beast in Europe. How could you dislike it?
Yeah.
All right. Good pick, Ronnie.
Who you got?
I got a European. Probably the best European. Niklas.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. I was a little worried.
Did you also go European?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Did you
More
go
specifically, Estonian. Because this is in Estonia, the home of Kristin Tatar. So I went with an Estonian pick for my shine.
Is it Bazooka? Or is he
No.
is he Estonian?
Yes.
Okay. Who'd you go with?
Mauri Valiman.
Well, he did beat Vinny. He showed up in the stroke play of the President's Cup. I like it.
Highest rated Estonian.
Okay. All right.
At the event.
Went home course. Okay. I like this. We don't know
Yeah, I know.
anything. That's a fun pick. Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Using your brain.
I know. You want to start? Or you want to know mine?
Yeah, you go ahead, and I'll go second here.
All right. I'm going with my stink.
Okay.
I went with another Estonian.
Okay.
And for once, I'm not concerned about buying Roadhouse.
All right. Who is it? It is. Okay. You just went all Estonia. The Bazooka. All right.
That's right.
So, Albert, I went with an American who could win at any time. He's the most underrated player, the most unassuming player. But we're going to go with him. K2.
Kyle Klein.
Kyle Klein is my stink.
He's kind of stunk this week.
He finished 14th.
Oh, never mind. You never saw the guy.
That's what I mean. He's so unassuming. You just never hear about him, and he's like always right up there.
Ronnie went European.
Oh,
Ronnie went L2. Lowry Lettinen.
that's the second time he's picked Laurie recently.
Not to stink, though. I think he picked him
No.
to do good once.
Yeah. So I think he burned him, and he's like, you know what? Keep stinking, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
good luck
I like
with
the
that.
pick.
That's probably the Joel Freeman of Europe for Ronnie. That guy burns me every time. So that leaves what? Me?
Sleeper.
For me? Is it my turn to go?
No, it's my turn to go first.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Jesse Niemanen. I went European.
Okay. There you go.
Again, we're playing darts in the dark. So
Ronnie went with a pick that I like.
you don't like mine?
No. We'll find out. I don't know much about him. Ronnie went with Big Perm. Jeremy Colling
Okay.
as his sleeper. And I kept on with the Estonian theme. My third Estonian, Roland Kjor, the 16-year-old kid.
Oh, the one that 18 ruined.
Yeah,
Okay. Hopefully there's not an 18 like that at this course.
that kid throws hard.
All right. This is going to be fun. You went all stoners.
Yes,
Is that what we call Estonians?
you can.
All right. Well, good luck to everyone, because you're going to need it, especially with your ragtag group.
We'll see. You
But-
forget who's in charge of picking the winner.
Yeah. What do you? You're gonna do. You're gonna do something weird. I can already tell.
Might as well.
Some proximity. they have to live so far away. They get extra points if they live within 20 miles of the course.
If they have an Estonian zip code,
Yeah.
why not? Cool, man. Well,
Let's go Survivor. We had
I forgot about
we
that.
had some people leave us.
Nobody cares about that anymore.
So tell me what happened this week in Survivor, Smitty.
Well, looks like we're losing 3 people. And we're going to be down to 4.
Whew. Whew.
You better not lost, Lucas. You're our only win dummy's hope.
Well,
we've had a win dummy in the finals, I think, every single time.
Oh, we should have known when Ronnie got out. We had no hope left.
Granted, that was Ronnie, yeah. But all right, so as we always do, we start with the top pick, which was Gannon Burr. He was our top placer of the people that people picked. And we only had one person pick Gannon Burr, and that was Sean Baltazar.
Good pick.
Yeah, doesn't get him anymore, though.
Nope.
And then we go Beast.
That's a great pick and kind of bold, really.
Yeah, that means nobody picked Rick.
I think everyone had already.
Oh, smart people.
Patsy doing it again.
You knew he was going to play well if Patsy picked him.
She went up to the last second, too. She sent it at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. She was thinking about it all week. It was a meaningful pick for her.
Yeah, I bet. I think she was probably busy with other things like work.
Oh, yeah. I think that happened, too.
So then we have Nicholas, the boy you want your sister to date.
Mm-hmm. And to do well next week. Oh, Tyson made it, and so did Kyle.
Tyson, the man who made the worst pick of all time, is still alive in Survivor 3.
Yeah, with free money, house money for him.
Yep. So that means we're losing 3 people.
For some reason, my name's not involved here. Why?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Who did I pick? Not him.
We have some people that picked Vinny.
Man, Vinny almost got back to it.
Yeah, he came screaming in, but came up short. So, Cooey, thank you for your donation to the Patsy Foundation.
And Eagle.
Oh, boy. The Wind Dragon.
More like a lose dragon.
You and your boy
Yep.
both went Wind Dragon and both went bye-bye.
Yeah. Michael gave me his pick and said, "Who'd you pick?" I said, Eagle. And he just laughed because he knew he was out.
I should have put the curse on Michael.
Yeah, honestly, I'm sorry, dude. That's on me, Michael. Well, goodness gracious. So can't wait to see who people pick this week. We're down to 4. We've already had 3 Survivor leagues, and we're probably going to get into a 4th before long.
Oh, yeah, we get a 4th.
All within the same season. I just don't think we're very good at this.
I think it's just hard.
It is.
I mean, picking somebody one time is tough because there's 3 or 4 dudes who are going to be in that top 15 nearly every single time. And then when you gamble on one of them and they don't, Anthony Barella, thanks a lot.
Yep.
So,
yep, exactly. Well, dude, I think we've reached it. We already know what the 19th hole is going to be, but before we show that shot, any shout outs you have for the week? For any of the peeps?
No, just back to those kids and their parents again. That's awesome that the parents were able to take a week out of their, I'm sure, busy lives and make sure their kids are having the time of their life, meeting a bunch of new friends and playing disc golf and dealing with Ronnie and I in the middle of the week.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was, again, kind of, I think, the coolest thing we've ever done. And I just have one little shout out, and it's a shout out to anyone that wants some disc and deal swag. I got these little patches. They go in your bag. These are only $5. They look pretty cool. Let me show you what it looks like on the bag. I put 4 on here, but yeah, it just goes right there on any Velcro. $5. Hit me up. Figure this would be a good spot to plug my own stuff.
Or they can just hit me up next week and I'll give them the 3 I find on the course.
You don't think they're going to stick? Is that what you're saying?
We'll see.
They're awesome. I mean, these things are good.
I don't have Velcro on my bag.
You don't?
I think only grip bags have that.
No, my Squatch bag does too.
My bag does not.
Well, maybe it's not going to be as cool as I thought, but if you want one, $5. Smitty, I'll give you one. You can like tape it on or something. Regardless, everyone, thanks for watching. If you stayed around this long, please make sure you like that video, subscribe to the channel. We will see you on the next one, hopefully with the third leg of the tripod in Ronnie Unruh. But again, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Later.
Puts it in. Got it. Marvelous execution from Gannon Burr. Unbelievable clutch factor from Gannon. Hearted